For the wing shot, there's a couple key elements at play that can be broken most simply into the foreground and the background. Both the foreground and the background have to be in sync, interacting with each other for the shot to look realistic. For the foreground, the wing has a couple things at play: the movement of the wing and the movement of the light. In the background, it's the movement, the light, and finally the parallax of the movement with the 3D clouds. Before we break it down, these are a few of the references we're using for how we'll go about making the shot. Let's take a look at what makes these work first. We have a shot of Fast and Furious 7. It works because since the camera is attached to the actor, he stays motionless, which is the foreground, and then the background can go crazy, giving us a point of reference to where we are as we spin, which makes the rotation so much more impactful. The second reference is from First Man. You can just see the wing shaking from the speed. You can also see the light on the wing interacting with the scene, or subtle reflections of the clouds on the wing. They got these shots by filming it on a 45 by 60 foot LED screen, which gave them that interactive light and reflection. The third reference is from How to Train Your Dragon. This is a great reference for the same reason as the Fast and Furious shot, but it also includes what the parallax of clouds looks like when you go through them. For instance, the clouds in the background rotate like a 2D image, but the clouds in the foreground appear earlier because we're much closer to them. Okay, so now we have a baseline for what a plain wing going into the clouds should look like realistically. Now, what are the ingredients we have to make our shot? Well, we have the wing shot. I placed the camera on a wing, then we took a Razor 7 and panned the light off of it. We actually got this shot at the end of the day as we were tearing down because our shooting schedule was so tight. I just grabbed the last light that we had and we got this shot, which isn't as impressive as a 45 by 60 foot LED screen. Where do we go from here? The first step is animating the plane so that it has movement and shake like in First Man. I added a wiggle effect to the plane so that it would have more shake, but this isn't enough. That wire is still just stagnant there, almost like the plane is just on display at a museum. So I masked out the wire, then added a lot more of a violent shake using the CC bender tool. That helped add a lot to it. Next is getting the movement of the background. What I did originally was motion track Jason rotating into the ground. Then remember those clouds that were made for the opening shot that didn't work out? I took those and was able to repurpose them. I made duplicates of them in a 3D space so that when the camera pushes into them, they'll have perspective, not just be 2D. Then I attached the clouds to Jason's motion track. The movement didn't work. He falls into the ground way faster than a plane could descend into clouds. The other problem is the movement starts in the clouds, then moves up and goes straight back into the clouds again, like the letter N. We're looking for half of that movement. So this is where the How to Train Your Dragon reference came into play. I took the movement of the camera in How to Train Your Dragon and incrementally animated it frame by frame to have the same drop animation. This movement was looking a lot better. From there, I have the clouds and I have the plane, but the background is missing a background. So I went into Pexels and found a few stock photos to use as a placeholder for the background. The next step was using CC toner to make the 2D clouds and the wing to be the same color as the color of the clouds in the picture. The final step was once the wing enters the clouds, we need the clouds to interact with the wing. To do that, I took a solid layer and placed it over on top of the wing at a low opacity, applying the wiggle tool so that the opacity would oscillate. I pre-composed everything and added a camera shake to the entire shot so that it would look a little less perfect and help comp the whole thing together. Finally, for the light on the wing, since it moves over the wing, then disappears, I think that helps it to also interact with the background for that extra 10%. And so that's how the wing shot was made. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I am planning on making a whole lot more videos in the future. So if you enjoyed this, there's more to come.